I need to deep clean some bathrooms. We've had a tummy bug in our house. Like, I'm fine. I am so fine. Like, this is how fine I am. I'm fine. I don't have anxiety about sickness. Nope. But thankfully, it's been relatively minor. But the bathrooms need a deep clean to try and prevent any further spread. So let's get to cleaning and yeah. Well, hey, I'm Sue with The Livable Life, and today I want to talk with you about dealing with anxiety and phobias. Trying to keep up with my home when dealing with anxiety and depression can make it very difficult to keep my home, well, livable. If this doesn't interest you, it won't hurt my feelings if you click the next video or hit mute. But the beauty of this platform is that I get to talk about whatever I want. So like I mentioned, we have had some tummy bugs in our home over the past few weeks. I struggle with emetophobia, which is anxiety over vomiting or being sick. It has gotten better over the past few years, but it still rears its ugly head at the worst times.
Oh my gosh.
Look at this is not a bobby pin. This is a bobby pin. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah. Cool. Yeah, good times. My oldest daughter had a bug a few weeks ago, and I was okay with helping her through it, and thankfully no messes happened. But then I spent the next week worrying if anyone else was going to get sick. No one did at that point, but then last weekend, my son got sick. He only threw up twice, and the second time was really my fault because I let him try to eat a McDonald's chicken nugget. Now, this past weekend, my youngest daughter wasn't eating and just wasn't acting like herself. She is 4 and autistic, so she can't always communicate what's wrong. She also will not take any sort of medicine. By Saturday evening, I was in full-on anxiety attack mode. I could not stop crying. I couldn't calm down. My husband was so wonderful and said I could head to my parents' house to try and calm myself down. Our son was already staying there for the night, so my husband said he would take care of the girls. And we only live about 10 minutes from my parents, but I ugly cried that entire drive. So my husband claims that he cleaned this a few days ago. I'm like, did you really? Really clean it? So we're just going to go back through, give it a little bit more of a scrubbing. I went to my parents' house and hung out till after the kids were in bed, but every time I thought about trying to go home, my anxiety would spike through the roof. Thankfully, my parents said I could crash there and get some sleep. I knew if I was home, I wouldn't sleep at all because I would just be straining to hear if my daughter was okay. Well, my husband said, it was fine, just get some sleep. And of course, I forgot to turn the camera notifications off on my phone. So then at 4 a.m., I was woken up with the notification from the girls' room camera. My husband was in there consoling my youngest daughter. Turns out she had thrown up a little bit, which she said it was a hiccup, but it was okay. After texting my husband, he assured me they were fine, and I went back to sleep. My husband doesn't always understand why I get this way, and frankly, I don't either. I would do anything to not have these big anxiety attacks. I felt so guilty that I had to leave my daughter when she wasn't feeling well, but I also knew I couldn't care for her in my current mental state. I first developed this phobia back in November of 2019 when we had a nice old tummy bug go through our house. And the biggest part was that my husband got violently sick, and I think that was the worst. I could care for the kids just fine, but when your partner is down and you have to try and take care of him and yourself being sick and the kids, what a nightmare. I know the anxiety with my youngest daughter just stems from the fact that she was in the hospital so much as a baby. When she was only 3 weeks old, she was hospitalized with RSV, and I was in the hospital with her and was woken up about 2:30 in the morning one night And the doctor said that they weren't sure how else to treat her, and she was being transferred to the Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota, which is about a 2-hour drive for us. But the helicopter was coming to fly her over there, and I couldn't ride with. So talk about terrifying. I was still half asleep. I didn't know what was going on. Watching the flight team come in, all in their uniforms, and then this contraption that they put her in to fly her over there, it was one of the scariest nights of my life. I know I'm not going to forget that. And so I think that's one of the reasons that I just have way more anxiety when she gets sick. That and the fact that she can't really tell you what's going on, it doesn't help anything at all. I'm really trying to help myself get better, and I figured out that one of the ways that I can cope and deal with this anxiety is by talking about it. And that's why I thought it might be a good idea to make this video. Because I'm doing what I can with the cleaning and the bleaching and everything to try and prevent further sickness. But to try and clear my mental health, that's the other important thing, is talking it out, just trying to help anybody else out there who might deal with these similar things. Just know you're not alone. You're not crazy. Well, my husband says I'm crazy. Whatever. That's a different story. But if you struggle with these same things, you're not alone. I tell myself whenever this happens that it's okay. We will get through it. We'll figure out whatever happens. But just keep going. Go take a nice hot shower. Go have yourself a cry, but we'll get through it. Thank you so much for tuning in with me. I hope you got something out of this if you struggle with these same issues. Give a like, subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.